Hello everybody and welcome to the Barbecue Brothers. On this episode I'm going to show you a little trick I've learned on how to get a really stable cook. I'm going to show you both using the Masterbuilt 560 controller, so we're going to have a section on that, and then I've got another section for you on doing the same thing using the Fireboard drive. And I'm just going to show you a little trick that you can do to get a really steady temperature using both of them. This is my brother Michael.
And this is my brother TJ. And we're the Barbecue Brothers.
Hey, I just want to take a second before we dive in here and just say this is a new channel. We're trying really hard to do high quality content that's practical for you. That's going to really hopefully show you some things you didn't know that's not already all over. We are going to do some things like how to cook different meats and stuff like that there's a million other ones of that we just want to show our method. But we're also going to make sure we add in plenty of things that we hope are unique and really going to help you out. So with that said, if you like this content, if you're enjoying these videos, please take a minute just to like, subscribe, and click that bell so that you get notified when new ones come out and we can all grow together. Thank you so much. All right, let's talk about this temperature control trick for a minute. It's a very simple thing. And by the way, if you already know about this trick, I don't want to hear about it because you should have been shouting it from the rooftops and I haven't seen it anywhere. Just kidding. It's cool if you already knew about it, but I just want to throw this out there for people who may not. So what I found is if you want to get a really stable temperature, and I'm actually going to demonstrate this throughout the video. I've tested it with both the Fireboard controller and the Masterbuilt controller, and it worked really well with both of them. So this is good news whether you're doing the original stock 560 or 1050, or whether you're using the Fireboard controller. This will work for either. It's really good news. All right, so what you're going to want to do, you want to load your chimney down with charcoal just like you normally would, and you want to go ahead and get your fire started. Regardless of what temperature you're going to do, by the way. I've done this at 200, 225, 250, 265, all those smoking ranges between 200 and 300 I've done this at, and it's worked really well. So you're going to want to get your charcoal in, get your fire started, and then what you want to do, instead of setting your controller to the temperature you're trying to get to, what you want to cook at, you want to set it to 150. So you do that and you let it sit there for 1 hour. So you're going to want to have a little bit of extra time. But you let it sit there for 1 hour, and then you should notice if you're graphing it or watching it, it's going to really stabilize. And even sometimes the Masterbuilt one will be off, so you may not see it on there, but if you're running like a Fireboard or a Maverick or some other probe, you'll notice that the temperature has stabilized. But you want to do it for an hour. I will say you could probably do it a little bit less than that. What I've noticed though on mine is when the graph really stabilizes is right at around between 45 minutes and an hour. You can try it less than that if you want, but if you do, you're playing with fire. Anyways, yeah, so my theory on why that works is I think it just really gets a nice, slow, controlled fire. Instead of bringing it straight up to temperature and then trying to keep it under control from there, it just starts off as low as it can and builds a very controlled fire, and then you just ease it up to the temperature you want it at. So it's as simple as that. I set mine to 150, I let it sit there for an hour, and then after the hour, I set it to the temperature I want, and it'll make its way up there fairly quickly. And then it'll just ride a very straight line for the rest of the cook. Let me show you a couple examples here. All right, so here's a graph of the test that I did with the Masterbuilt controller. I ran it for 13.5 hours. The controller was actually set to 250. I was measuring the temperature with the Fireboard probe, and it was measuring it at 200. So I actually ended up doing the same test with the Fireboard at 200 as well, just so it'd be the same temperature. At any rate though, look at the graph. It's very smooth, hardly any spikes or dips, just a really nice clean line. If you've seen some other graphs, I'll throw one up here from previous cooks, nothing like that. It's all over the place. So this is a really nice way to get the Masterbuilt to be pretty consistent. I will say, if you look at it, you'll notice a very slight climb from 200 up to 206, 207 throughout the cook. So the further it went, the hotter it got. But I mean, 6-7 degrees, who cares? It's not that big of a deal. But it did slightly just kind of lose track. And I think what that's a sign of is the inaccuracy of the probe. I've had the probe, because the whole time the probe said 250, 251, 249. It always thought it was within 1 degree of the temperature, but the Fireboard probe was saying otherwise. So there's just something about, I don't know if it's the algorithm or the probe itself, something's a little bit weird with that probe where it just is not consistent on how it reads temperature. And I think that's what was at play here. But again, 5-6 degrees is not a big deal. Very stable cook, and I was very happy with it. All right, so let's take a look at the one from the Fireboard cook. This is again 13.5 hours. The line is just, here it is, it's just it's insane. It's almost perfectly straight. Hardly any curves or dips at all. Just a really, really nice line. It never lost anything. It just kept it straight at 200 the entire time. All right, guys, so in conclusion, this efficiency test, I've tested it many, many times. It really seems to work. Give it a try. I hope you like it. Let me know if it works for you. Let me know what you think. Any comments, suggestions, as always, put them down below. And please like and subscribe. Click on that notification bell so that you know when we post new videos. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.